So Apple and Facebook have had some beef recently. It's been interesting.
Yeah, it's all the rage in the news.
Yeah, I don't think it was the Daily that brought it up to me. I was kind of familiar on the topic and had paid attention a bit beforehand, but I listened to the Daily recently, and that's kind of what made me think we should really do an episode on this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not exactly the vein that we're hitting, but I think that, I don't know, it goes with your whole, Google ads and interest in that. We're just enthusiasts, so we can really talk about whatever we want.
We're not experts on anything. We're just enthusiasts.
On everything.
That's such a good, it's such a good cop-out.
It's the perfect cop-out.
Anyways, yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I'm not going to say you're living under a rock, but it was very heavily implied by that last sentence. There is a beef happening between Apple and Facebook. Unfortunately, it's kind of to do with something that isn't really their business. It's literally our business. Apple gave an option for the user to decide whether they want to share their personal data, like their clicking habits, just all of their behavioral data with different apps. So anytime you get a new app, you can say yes or no. And I don't know about you, but I think it's interesting, and I think it's ethical to want to do that. But Facebook's pushback is they have this statement. I think it's their mission statement to connect the world,
right,
and whatever. And it's like, we're helping small business by doing this, and you're affecting small businesses because that's the majority of where we make money from our Facebook ads. It's small business. And I just go, okay, so most business is small business. So nice one. But
yeah, see, when they say that, it is the other side of the coin, where it's like the people versus the businesses, which in turn are the people. But yeah, that's a good point that you just made up, is what is a small business? Is a small business 500,000 employees? Because that's not really what I'm thinking of when I, pull on that heartstring.
Yeah, and it's like, if we're talking about small businesses, then it's important to define what that means. And I'm not sure if the definition is something that we both have off the top of our heads, but I feel like what the majority of the person thinks of is just essentially not a company that's on the stock exchange, like a non-publicly traded company.
Right. It's like they say it and it's meant to mean, this store only has one owner with one location and they know everybody's name that they employ. That's definitely not what they're working with. It's anything that's not public.
They know what they're doing.
Oh, precisely what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing. And it's like, Facebook in this case, I think it has a bit of a poor argument. Because, maybe their argument isn't awful. It's just the foundation for which they're standing upon it is meant to be misleading.
Yeah. I think it's a form of social control versus liberty, with Apple, giving people the right to not have people's information just taken from them or abused against them. But I think the type of social control that Facebook is pushing for is a very consumerist one that is going to make people, work in certain ways that they maybe not want to. I think that social control can be good, and maybe, a guiding hand is good for the public if it's with the right interests in mind. But when we're manipulating the word small business and we're really just trying to turn a profit, I'm skeptical.
And I'm skeptical too, because and I don't think the Zuck has done a great job of, I'm just going to refer to him as Zuckerberg, or Mark Zuckerberg from on out, because that was awkward. I don't think he's done a great job of giving the public a reason to trust him. Mm-hmm. Have you seen this man when he's interviewed by the Senate?
Oh,
it's so bad.
The lizard guy?
Well, I'm not even just saying on his appearance, which is nothing wrong with how anyone looks. Okay.
Was that the Senate hearing? Is that where it came from? The Senate.
That is where the meme came from. He just kind of looked like it was said that he looked like a lizard person. You can either confirm or deny my opinion on that. But basically, he does not answer questions directly. And I remember one of the senators, and unfortunately, I think it was one of the senators that was He was basically, let's say around January, pre the bad thing that happened in January, he was controversial. You remember the?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it wasn't the Zodiac guy. It was a different one. I think it was from Missouri. But
okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Taller guy. Basically, he kind of destroyed Mark Zuckerberg in their little Senate hearing where he was like, we have tech giants up here having selective amnesia, acting like they don't know how their company works, and we expect to trust them. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, he was up there in the Senate hearing just having the most ridiculous amount of selective amnesia about how the processes of his data collection worked. And I'm like, I know. He knows.
Oh, we all know how it works.
Like, and I'm just saying, like, no, I was saying, like, you and I know that he knows how it works.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no way Mark Zuckerberg doesn't know how his data collection works. Like, this dude, as much as he is, he could be the figurehead at this point. He's so young to where there's no way he's not got his hand in every major aspect of that company.
Yeah, he's not a CEO that comes off to me as hands off.
No, not at all. Dude, Steve Jobs was like his mentor before this sort of, before Tim Cook came in and kind of became this more virtuous figure, I guess you could say.
Sure. I mean, you're still the head of Apple.
Yeah.
You got to be a little sus.
Yeah, but Tim was the second in command of Steve Jobs, and basically Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs had this wonderful relationship where they spread a lot of ideas with each other, and then like there was this animosity that ended up happening where Facebook starts going into the different aspects of Apple's business, right? They get Messenger on Facebook, they get WhatsApp, and then there becomes this really big competition, right? And that's kind of where, and then that along with this new data privacy issue, it's all coming to a spearhead, and I find it very intriguing.
Yeah, it's interesting how the apprentice became a fellow master. Yeah,
because now it's like Zuckerberg, and I mean, in my opinion, while Tim is his many years his senior, I feel like the average person would probably be like, Mark Zuckerberg's a more influential human being than Tim Cook, because Tim, I'm not saying rode the coattails of Steve Jobs at all. I know he definitely is deserving of his position. I'm just saying I think the average person thinks of Zuckerberg as a higher level, because Tim's always going to live in the shadow of Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's very true. And Zuck he's the trailblazer of Facebook, right?
Yeah. If you want to see this episode or any other episode of the Rise Productive podcast, make sure to go and check the show out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else that you can find podcasts today.